Hello, welcome to this video where I talk about the Kiwi 52mm filter adapter for the Sony RX100. So Sony RX100 and all the iterations are amazing cameras, but one of the problems we get when filming video is because this only goes down to f11 and you're shooting at maybe 1/50th or 1/60th of a second, is it's very easy to get an overexposed image, and it makes it difficult to manage the exposure even on the lowest ISO. So on the lens, there's no screw to add any filters. There's no mechanism to add any filters. So a lot of companies have come out with ways of adding filters to this camera. Now the Kiwi Photos one was the cheapest I could find. I'm just going to get this out. And the way it works is it just sticks on. So we've got this sticky substance that's going to stick around the lens here. And then as you can see here, this has a thread, a screw thread. And what that means is you can then attach filters if you need to. So I will be attaching an ND filter to be able to control the exposure, and also allow me to attach a polarizing filter as well. In the bag, I think we get some spare sticky patches in case they fall off. So you want to make sure that your filter is going to fit on the lens, and it is. So all we need to do is extend this lens as it is at the moment, take the paper off and stick it down so it's in the center. So I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure, hold it for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to turn the camera off so that the lens retracts. So it doesn't take up much more real estate. It doesn't impede the zooming mechanism at all. It doesn't affect the camera. I suppose it gives it a little bit more protection, but it does allow me to put filters on now. Let's just have a look through here. You can't see any vignetting on the screen, which is good, so it's not obscuring anything, not causing any vignetting, and it's still a compact camera. So here we have a 52mm ND filter, and it's a variable ND filter, and we can see that I can thread this in nicely, like so. It does have a little bit of dirt on, unfortunately, but for demonstration purposes I'm sure it'll be fine. So we can see here, I can turn that and I can darken as I need to. It's not the best, this isn't the best ND filter in the world. See, it's not particularly universal in how it darkens it, but it can be used to darken it, as you can see. So now we're going to go outside and do a little test. So we're outside and we can see pointing up at the sky, I'm actually getting, the image is actually overexposed by 2 stops. This is recording at 1/50th of a second and on the lowest ISO, which is ISO 125. Now if I turn my ND filter, you can see I'm starting to bring the exposure down. And now I've got it to neutral where it should be. So now I've got the correct exposure. If I just put the ND filter back to where it was at 2, and I try and change it by stopping down the aperture, I'm going to, I've gone to f11, and even at f11 I'm still slightly overexposed. So if this day was sunnier and I wasn't in shade, I'd be in real trouble. But with the ND filter on, I can adjust the exposure independently of the aperture and the ISO, which is really useful for these type of cameras.